Honcho World, what's the deal? We got a big chop today on my little cousin, you know what I'm saying? He cutting his locks off. Tell him what you gonna get.
A low taper, you know what I'm saying?
You scared?
I ain't gonna lie, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. How long you been growing your locks out?
Since middle school, man.
Middle school. What grade you in now?
I'm in college, freshman in college.
So you about to be a freshman in college bald.
Not bald, not bald.
All right, you wanna cut off the first one?
Come on.
I got you. You gotta leave a little room. So you got it, cause we getting the fro. You going fro, ain't you? Yeah. So cut it like right here. Yeah. At least some new growth. Yeah. That's tough. How you feeling?
It's cool, it's a relief.
You gonna cut another one?
You know what, just come on with it, I'll cut it. Cool right here. Right here.
Yeah, you got that. Your fro about to be hella uneven. Alright, bet. Here, I'm gonna give you this while I start cutting. You can just say whatever you want to say.
Oh, man.
How'd you want to cut it?
I just need a full head.
So you gonna keep them then reattach them?
Probably. Yeah, I might have to.
How many locks you think you got?
The last time I counted, it was around like 60.
60?
Yeah.
So you trying to get 120?
Oh God. And I've been growing it out ever since I went to school.
Mm-hmm. I see. Shit, you want that fro?
Oh God.
Pick you up. You gonna go sponge? You gotta go sponge. You go no sponge. I'm scared of you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, do sponge. Do sponge. It's all gone.
You told anybody you was gonna cut them off?
I told my mama and everybody at the crib.
You ever sell them?
7. You think I can get good money off of these?
I don't know. You only got 60.
I don't know. I had to see.
What's the worst part about having locks?
Dude, like every time you eat, they get in your mouth. Like you eating your dread whole time. So it's like, bro.
What's the best thing?
The honeys love them. Honeys love them.
How long you think it's gonna take to grow them back out?
It ain't gonna take that long. My hair grow fast.
You think I'm gonna have locks before you got locks?
Nah.
We're gonna see.
Cause I don't know.
I'm gonna start growing mine now.
For real.
Yeah.
You gonna keep them for a cool little time?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep them. I ain't gonna go little locks though. Yeah, little motherfuckers be ugly.
These like, you talking about like this skinny?
No, I'm saying like little like length. Like if this motherfucker's this long, you know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that shit. Fuck. Go ahead, yeah.
Dang.
Might as well just keep it like this.
What you
Keep it like this.
Oh man, it's love.
What?
I look like dude off Chicken Little, you know what
We talking about the little thing?
Yeah.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it do. So the first step, I'm gonna pick out his hair. I'm trying to get out all those naps, all those kinks, all that buildup out his hair. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm about to wash his hair, give him the best wash of his life. So I finally finished picking out his hair and I took him back to the shampoo bowl. I'm rinsing his hair out first. As you can see, his hair doesn't really absorb water that well, so I'm making sure it gets nice and moist. Then I put on the shampoo. I'm using Him shampoo because I ran out of my regular shampoo, but it's still good. We're gonna give him a good wash. The first wash, you wanna make sure you're scrubbing. Make sure you get out all the dirt, all the buildup, all that mildew, anything out of his hair. We're trying to get a clean canvas. You could do a total of 2 washes and then condition his hair. Make sure his hair is all nice and soft and for the most part clean, because that's the point of this. You want to get out all that buildup from those locks. So when I'm done with my washes, I rinse out his hair. I want to make sure I get out all the soaps and suds. Now I'm gonna dry majority of his hair with a towel. Then I'm gonna set him under this hair dryer. It's gonna be about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast his hair dries, really. But now we back to the chair, and this was what we are working with. He wants a low taper with the sideburns. His hair is kind of dense, so we're gonna do a weighted low taper. So a weighted low taper is me just keeping it dark around the edges. I'm gonna start my first guideline where his ear connects to his face. Then I'm gonna debulk with a 2 guard. So I do a weighted taper depending on my client's hair texture, because if I cut his hair too low, where the C-cup area is, it's gonna look like his hair is like really light whenever I line him up. And I don't really like that look. It's gonna look like a mushroom where his hair is just placed on top of his scalp, you know what I mean? We ain't trying to do that. We're trying to make sure his hair flows as much as possible with his face and his hairline. Just trust the process, bear with me. So I'm debulking some more with a 3. I'm going around his ear too, because I don't want that afro just hanging on top of his ear. That's gonna be kind of irritating. It's kind of gonna give him some shape. If I didn't do this step, you know, he was gonna have that Norbert afro. We do not want that Norbert fro, you know what I'm saying? This is 2023. This is not, you know what I'm saying, the early 2000s where they got that big old fro, no shape, or it's a lot of shape. It's just too big, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna give him a little tapered look. So now we at the back of the head. You want to make sure his taper isn't too high, so I'm going to debulk with a 3. I ain't going to go above that hook at the back of everybody's head, you know what I'm saying? That's called that occipital bone. It's going to be blended up right into that point. I'm doing this so he don't have too much taper, and so his taper isn't too small. It's definitely going to flow well with the client's head shape, so whenever you do a haircut, you want to make sure it flows with their head shape, because if it doesn't flow with their head shape, the haircut isn't going to look too appealing on the client, you know what I'm saying? Now we on his right side, we're doing the same thing to this side as we did to the other side. You can kind of tell when somebody's hair is sparse or dense because when you're cutting down with a big guard, you can start seeing their scalp a little bit. So whenever you are cutting hair, make sure you pay attention to that. Start with the big guard first to debulk, because if you go in too hot, you know what I'm saying, you start off with a low guard, you ain't gonna be able to get that hair back. As I can see now, I'm shaping the fro. I'm getting all those loose hairs and making sure his hair is even. As y'all can see, it's shaping up real nice. We're getting out all those loose hairs. So I'm gonna style his hair first. I'm gonna add water and then I'm gonna sponge it. I'm doing this just so I can see how his hair lays down whenever I cut it down, because it is still a weighted taper, so I'm not gonna cut it down with like a 1 or nothing. I'm gonna cut it down with like a 2. Y'all remember I said his hair doesn't absorb that much water whenever I was washing his hair. You can see the water is just staying on top of his hair. So you wanna make sure you spray enough water to get his hair moist. Then I'm gonna go in with some leave-in conditioner. I'm gonna put it on top of his fro. I'm gonna rub it in, make sure his hair is all moisturized. You can use any product you want to sponge the client's hair. I use mousse, I use curl enhancing smoothie, I use leave-in conditioners. I even use gel sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on the client's hair or how I'm feeling that day, just to see the outcome of how the client's hair gets sponged, you know what I'm saying? So this here is not your regular ordinary sponge. This is that sponge thing, or I wouldn't even call it a sponge. I don't know what to call this, but I gotta look up the name, but it's from Red by Kiss. It definitely works better than a sponge and it's more sanitary because you don't have to keep throwing your sponges away. You can just wash this off and sanitize it and then keep reusing it however you want to do it. But in my opinion, this works better than the sponge. My clients think so and I think so. So right here, I'm just spraying his lines with holding spray because I'm about to go in and line them up. I want to make sure everything is in place. We do not have to do the hot towel because we just washed his hair. That wash was a part of the line prep, so I'm just combing everything down, make sure everything is in place. But when I cut it down with this tool guard, keeping it dark on the line. Again, this is called a weighted taper. We are leaving all the areas by the lines dark because the client's hair is very dense. And if we cut it too low, it's not gonna look right, you dig? So I'm going in right here around his ear line. I'm using the tip of my liners, and then I'm going to go down to his neckline. I'm tapping, and as you can see, these liners are hidden. Them things ain't nothing to be played with. These DeWalt detailers, I love these clippers. These are probably the best liners that I've had in a long time. When I first started cutting hair, these are the liners I started out with. It was the corded kind, but these are still some hitters. Even though they're wireless, they still hitters and they last long. And right here, I'm just seeing where his line lines up at on each side of his eyebrows. And as you can see, so if I started back where his hair is dark at, then it kind of would look like a pushback and his hairline would have been uneven, you know what I'm saying? He did want the sideburns still, so we keeping them. These are toothpick sideburns he did, so we gonna connect that to the C cup. We're getting that ghost line in there and make sure the line is crisp. I like doing the ghost line technique because the haircut looks so much better, it looks crispier, and it allows me to see if I lined up the sideburns correctly, because sometimes the shit gonna look weird if you don't do the ghost line. As you can see, we're getting the other side of his line together. Then we're gonna go in on this front line. We're gonna start in the middle and we tapping. We're going across to the left side first. Froze are tricky, so you wanna make sure you cutting off all that overhang so his hairline lasts. Say if you leave too much overhang, then his hairline is not gonna last whenever he picks his hair out or whatever. So the goal is to leave the front dark and to make it last long. So as you can see here, I'm going in with my dark brown Tune 45 enhancement. I chose dark brown because his hair color. Look at his hair color. His hair color is not black. It's a dark brown. You know what I'm saying? Because if I chose black, it'll look too dark with his hair. We're trying to make sure the enhancements blends in with his hair. Keep in mind not to spray too much on the bars or the C-cup area because his hair is sparse. So we want to make sure it's as natural as possible. And so I sprayed dark brown topics on top of the Tune 45 enhancement just so I could add some texture. And so the Tune 45 won't be shiny whenever it hits the light. If a client asks me to go light enhancements, I just spray the topics. I don't spray the Tune 45 on there. But the Tune 45 does make the hairline last longer. And right here, I'm going in with my light brown pencil. I'm lightly drawing across his forehead. Make sure all the lines connect and they steady. So I like to brush over the line to make sure any extra enhancements come off or any extra pencil come off. And if you want to get your client extra fresh, you can spray the neckline with enhancements and go over it with a pencil too. Like I was telling y'all earlier, the taper ain't too low, it ain't too high, you know what I'm saying? Then as I can see right here, I'm going in with my razor, make sure I'm pulling the skin and angling that blade. You want to glide that blade, you don't want to dig into his skin, because if you dig into the skin, you're going to cut them. You don't want no bleeding clients because they're going to leave bad reviews, you know what I'm saying? But you can see the lineup is looking crisp and fresh. Look at that. The shit really is sharp. If you try to touch this line right now, it's going to cut your hand. Whenever you razor and tube, make sure you pay attention to the corners the most. The corners is what's gonna make your linings pop. The sharper the corners, the sharper your haircut gonna look. And then I'm blending in the pencil some more by razoring down. You wanna do this all around the front line, wherever you put the pencil at, you're gonna definitely notice the difference. And here goes the final result. Check out the taper, check out the back taper. That shit is blended to a perfection. Check him out. Sponge the top, low weighted taper. Everything looks fresh and full. Yeah, so how you feel after the cut? What you thinking?
Brand new man, you feel me?
You gonna reattach him?
I'ma just leave it out like this, you feel me? Yeah. Just rock it out like this.
Yeah, bad. That's a bet. Rate the cut 1 through 10.
100, you feel me? 100.
Yes, sir. Get sliced. Look straight.
Oh,
Look straight. Then look at the camera. Then look straight. You gotta look like at the lens. Yeah. He could do it. He could be more smooth. He could be more smooth.
All right.
Yeah, there we go.